Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dally Society. My name is Kristen and today I've got a couple of brand new makes to show you and some plans to go through, which is very exciting because for a while now I've had so many things I had to get done, and the last few days I have had the total creative juices flowing, and it's whatever I felt like making I've just started to make. And you know what it's like when you have fabric sitting there and you don't have plans and you think it's nice to be on a whim and think, what would I love to make right now today without overthinking it? So I've kind of taken away a bit of the planning out of things lately and just decided to make exactly what I feel like wearing. And today I've got a brand new make on here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoy what you see here. This channel's all about fabric and pattern inspiration, what's new in the world of sewing, so heaps of things to keep you all busy here. Now the make I've got on is actually a pattern I've had for many, many years. It's one of the very first patterns that I made back when I started my sewing journey. I think it's had a name change since I first purchased it. It's the Sew Over It Sylvia Robe. It's a fantastic, simple pattern, very easy to make. And at the moment, I am all about duster style, throw over, loose, floaty kind of jackets that I can make in nice, flowy, light material because it's still very warm here through the day. I love to pop things on over a little tank top, skirt, pair of jeans or a dress. They're really handy. This fabric you won't find in my store because it's deep from within my stash. It's one of those ones I've been saving up for many years now. It's actually an Italian silk that I've had for about 2 years. I love silk, and if you haven't sewn with silk before, don't be afraid. It was very, very easy to sew with. It's one of those fabrics that you kind of put away for special and think, I'm going to make something one day special to wear. And I just think, why not make something more practical that you're going to wear and be able to feel against the skin on a more of a day-to-day basis. So I made this Sylvia from Sew Over It Patterns. Very simple. I wanted to showcase this beautiful print. I also wanted something I could pop on over a tank. I have a nice silky black bias cut skirt and a black tank top, and this is exactly what I wore out to see the Human League concert last week because it was a really, really hot day, and I thought in case it cooled down through the night I can pop this little duster style kimono jacket over. And of course it was boiling hot in there even at night time. It didn't cool down at all. So when I got in there, I'm stripping off, and all I could think about was I wish I had bought the little portable fan that I saw in a store the week previous. I thought, I need one of those. I'll get it next time. And all I could think about was that fan would have been amazing sitting there in the theatre that was really hot. But I will get one of those. I haven't forgotten. And it's so nice to wear on the skin. The beautiful thing about silk is that it's a natural fibre, so it's really breathable. I was showing a couple of my kids what it actually felt like pure silk. It doesn't feel the same as satin. I think people imagine silk to feel like that sort of silky, satiny polyester fabric that it doesn't breathe and it creases really badly, whereas this silk has that more breathable fibre feel, like a lightweight cotton or linen. It's just so lovely to wear against the skin. So I wanted a nice simple pattern to showcase this really amazing abstract print, and then I decided to cut the panels, the side, the front panels here on the cross grain because I wanted to use the opposing kind of print. So I was a little concerned that it wasn't going to drape as nicely, but it didn't matter because it really looked lovely once it was all put together. And I didn't even do any hand stitching. I just did it all with the machine, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I ended up cutting the sleeves off to about half the length on the pattern, and I'm really happy with that as well because it's a great sleeve length for all year round. Summer or winter, you could quite easily layer this over a black turtleneck or a black long sleeve dress. Even some nice boots for winter would be perfect, but even a pair of jeans and a shirt underneath would look just as lovely. So I'll put some pics up so you can see that one. But a really nice simple duster. I actually have a lot of plans to make many other dusters because I love wearing them, and I'm just about finished a duster that I'm making in the new Fabric Godmother print. Now the Fabric Godmother fabrics that I have coming in for their launch on the 21st of March. It's been pushed back a little bit, so yeah, it'll be the 21st. It was going to be the 14th, so it's given me time to make something amazing up in one of the prints, and the collection is so beautiful. I'm actually considering making a couple of things because the autumnal palettes and the Matisse inspired prints that I have seen, they are right up my alley, exactly what I love wearing, and especially in the colours. Even though I've got total opposite colours on here today, I do love a nice autumnal palette. And I've had the hair done just recently. I've had some more foils put in, had some colouring done, bit of a trim, so feeling nice and freshened up because in the warmer weather my hair tends to grow really quickly, so it was nice to go and get a bit of a freshen up this week. So what else have I got to show you? Before I get onto the plans, the things that I've actually already got printed out ready to sew up, I'm going to talk about a dress that I made last week. Now this is the Tessuti Mattea dress, and I had a couple little disasters while making this. So I'm really happy with how the pattern turned out. It's a really lovely, simple pattern, but as always, Tessuti have a knack of giving little details and little finishes to a garment to just give it that nice polished edge. So things like where the seam in the back joins, you do your top stitching, and just a nice facing, and yeah, different details like that. I didn't end up using the Vilene shield. I didn't need it because I had quite a good structured fabric. I really like the armhole binding finishing. It's really nice. It's like a cap sleeve, and it would be great in the top version, the Mattea as well. My problem was that I probably used a little bit heavier linen than what the pattern intends for a woven fabric. Of course, the linen I have here is a bit heavier. I would say that even though it looks really lovely on, I probably would go to a lighter weight linen, or maybe a linen viscose blend, or even a Tencel linen blend, or even just a plain viscose. I think it would look a bit more floaty, because when you've got a structured fabric like that and quite a lot of volume in the lower part of the frill, yeah, it can get quite bulky to sew with. But I was really happy with the overall look of the dress. My main problem was that just before I finished it, of course, madly trying to finish it, and the overlocking seam of the frill around the bottom and the bodice of the skirt, I kind of caught a little bit in there with the overlocker, and it was just before I'd finished. And once that gets caught in there, you've got that nice tear through the fabric, and it was right on the front where the pockets joined. So unfortunately for me, I had to trim, to save, I had to trim a bit off the bottom where the pockets sit. So you'll see my join where my pocket stitching is, where the skirt is, it is a bit more, a bit cut off compared to what it should be. You should see the whole stitch at the pocket shape around the bottom, the pocket bag, and mine had to be cut off. So it's a little bit shorter in the bodice than what is intended. It still looks okay. I'm still really happy with it. I'll still wear it, but I feel that the weight of the linen and the length of the dress may need a little bit of altering. Look, I'll put some pics up and you can see what you think, but all in all, I think if I made this again, I would definitely use a lighter weight fabric to get that little bit more floatiness. But yeah, it's nice to have a solid coloured dress. It would be a lovely one to wear layered through winter. I think maybe more than even a summer dress. I could see this layered with a long sleeve top underneath. And that's kind of a chunkier linen. So it's probably more heading into a winter layered style dress. But yeah, isn't it devastating when you just about finish a pattern that you're really happy with, all the techniques that you've used, and it's coming up perfectly, especially with things like Tessuti with their pockets. Their pocket finishings are amazing. I'm not a fan of pockets in dresses, but I always make sure with a Tessuti pattern I do them because they're flat. They sit really nicely. There's no flapping around and bulk in the hips, and they sit lovely. They're stitched in the front. Really, really lovely designing and details there, and then I end up going and ruining it at the end. But you know what? I make mistakes a lot of the time too, and I think it's the fact is when you're just about finished a dress and you let your guard down a bit and you get a little bit slap happy with the overlocking seams, and if you're not making sure underneath that you have that bulk of that skirt pushed away and it gets caught in, it's one of those things that you really have trouble picking up the pieces there and putting it together. So look, I was lucky I had a little bit of room to move there, but still I would have loved to have seen it with that just a little bit more length in the bodice area. But good lesson for me, that, isn't it? So what have I got planned to make? I've actually in the middle of making a Jodie duster right now, which I am in love with. I've got to say, yeah, the fabric is just really appealing to me. And the Jodie duster I'm making is actually a lot shorter than the regular one I made, so you can adapt that pattern and make it shorter. And also the So Different patterns have just landed. We had a very early morning delivery today, and the Jodie dusters, Mahal dresses, the RU dresses, so the whole Pink City collection has been restocked, and I know a lot of my customers were on the waiting list for those. So if you haven't checked your emails, you will have been alerted that they have just arrived back in stock. So they've been a very popular pattern collection for the summer, and I think even for heading into autumn they're going to be just as popular. So what am I making? I've just pre-washed some beautiful Tencel linen that I've got in my store. This colour is that beautiful sienna colour. Absolutely love it. I'm going to make the new Closet Core Patterns Jenna shirt. I've seen so many beautiful versions of it. I love that kind of mid-length with the curved hem with the side splits. That's exactly what I want to make. I definitely would love to make the dress. I'll see how get the shirt fitting right first, but I wanted a nice solid colour to wear back with all of my autumnal prints that I have. I think that would be a beautiful one. Yeah, so I'd love to hear if you've made the Jenna, what you thought about it. I think I'm going to make the large because I want it oversized, but I don't want it hugely oversized, if you know what I mean. I want it in the middle. So I think if I make the large, I looked at the pattern finish measurements, the garment measurements, and I think that will put me right in between the large and extra large. So I can always skim out a little bit to the extra large around the middle of the body and keep the large on the shoulders. But that, I think in that colour, is going to look really nice. So that's what I've got ready to be printed off. But before I start on the Jenna, I want to get one last kind of summery make in, I would say. Summer, autumn. This beautiful Mason Bloom Mood fabric is one that I've had in my stash since this beautiful Khaleesi fabric came in, and I want to make a lovely Italia jupe lin caftan in the blouse shape. Now I wanted something without buttons because I'll be doing lots of buttons for the Jenna. And I really love the look of the neckline that overlaps on the lin caftan. I don't think I've got quite enough fabric here to make the dress, and I think the caftan for me will be a bit more versatile at the moment to wear with, you know, little linen pants or three-quarter jeans. And I really love this gorgeous, kind of like batik-looking print. It's really unusual. It's got that nice kind of terracotta colour and that nice sort of foresty, sort of between a sage and a forest green with the cream print. So that for me will be the next thing getting sewn up, hopefully tomorrow. Start that one. I also really love the look of the assembly line pleat front shirt. It's got the dart pleats on the shoulder. I'll put a pic up so you can see. I think that would be a really nice one as well, because I really enjoyed making the cap sleeve shirt that I did in that Lady McElroy Dip in the Lake fabric last week. They're the sort of things that I'm just loving wearing at the moment. I cannot get enough shirts. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how these come up first, and maybe then I might make the pleat shoulder shirt, pleat front shirt. There's so many gorgeous patterns coming out at the moment. It's really, really hard. I just noticed that there was a new release last night, just after I actually the other day did a video and I said there'll be a new release patterns. There was a beautiful new release little crop jacket from Maven Patterns. I'll put a pic up. I think it's the Luda pattern. I'll put the name up here so you can see, and I will link it in the description box below. But I love the look of this. It's like a capelet style pattern, and I love the fact that you can make it joined at the waist as well if you want to do that. You can use kind of mid to heavyweight fabrics and line it as well. But I love that kind of the way the sleeve, that wide looking kind of crop sleeve. It's just so elegant and beautiful. I think it'd be a fantastic one to make for heading into autumn winter here in Australia. But for a lot of you guys in the northern hemisphere, a beautiful linen would just be stunning in that too. So I love those kind of layering pieces. I think that would be a beautiful one to get to make myself. So let me know what you're sewing this week. If you're up to anything, I'd love to hear in the comments below what you've been making. I'm going to leave you all there today, and I'll be back at the end of the week with two brand new collections. The Fabric Godmother one will be the first one, and then the Atelier Joux collection, which will be following shortly thereafter. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you all very shortly. Bye for now.